Hello, it's Sherry. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and welcome to Tassel Tuesday. So if you have never been here before, I just want to explain real quick that this is a collab, an open collab hosted by Jovi at Creating with Jovi. I will have her channel and all the other participants' channels listed below, and we all get together and make a tassel every Tuesday. We've been doing this for quite a while now. An open collab means anyone can join in anytime, jump in for a week, and that's all you have to do, or jump in it every week. It's all up to you. It's open to whatever you want to do. So this week I am making a fall related tassel. Last week was kind of Halloween fall. I had some oranges and some purples in there, and that was inspired by Jovi. And this week I wanted to do just a fall instead of Halloween. I really didn't even have any more, or much of any more Halloween colored type fabrics. So I went with fall. I went through my fabrics. In fact, I just brought these home, these bunches of fabrics that I use. And I use a bunch of different ones, and I'll show you, because we're going to make one together. But this one I already finished, so I could show you what we're doing. It's a pretty little tassel. This one is from top of the little tassel, not the hanger, to the bottom of the tassel. It's about 8.5 inches long, and I added the hanger is a little, I have a little loop here, so you could hang it from that. And I also have a loose leaf ring that you could hang it from. It does have a puff top, and it has a little decoration here, or embellishment. It's a metal, bronze metal piece that I got a bunch of these from BB Craft. I do demonstrations and things for BB Craft. So this is, I'll show you the bag in a second, but I added that as the embellishment. I just thought it looked so pretty on this tassel with all the fall colors in the bronze. And I added a little sticker here in the middle. It's kind of like a half back pearl, but not, I'll show you the stickers. I got them right here. But I picked out a color that went with the tassel. So that one's done, and we're going to do one together. Here is the little sticker pack. I got these at Dollar Tree a while ago, and see how they have different colors. Here, I'll try to hold it in a way that you don't get glare, but there's yellows and reds and oranges and even purples and blues and greens here. So that I was looking around for those I was looking around for something, and I thought of those to put in the middle here. And I just added some Fabri-Tac, and they are stickers, but I didn't trust that to hold it. So I put some Fabri-Tac on there, and that one is done. So let's do one together. I already cut some of the same fabrics, or actually exactly the same fabrics here. And we'll pick out a little bronze piece in a minute. But this is pretty simple if you've never made a tassel before. All I do is, for a simple tassel, I tore these strips. I just tear them by hand. So once in a while you get a fabric that you can't tear, then you can cut it with your scissors. But I think all of these, most of these or all of these I was able to tear by hand. And I just picked out, like I said, some fabrics that I just brought home, really, and I haven't even shown you in my Thrifty Thursday videos because I was looking for fall colors. And I actually found all of these, I think all of these at the thrift store at the same time. I don't know what happened or where they came from, but somebody got rid of all of these colors, and they were perfect for fall. So there were some, bigger pieces, not like huge or anything, but bigger pieces and some smaller pieces. So I just gathered them all up and brought them to the register. So you can see the colors I have here is a burgundy. See how this has a little design on it. This has actually like a burnt orange in the back, or rust color, and then it looks like it has little leaves all over it. So really pretty. Let's see. So I have 3 of these, 2 of these. Let me get the other, because I try to get 2 of each one pretty much. So let me put that one here. I kind of distribute them evenly so that when I did this, I actually did something different on this one tonight, and I think it turned out really well. I put a bunch down like this, and then I actually crisscrossed some on top of it. So this is a green, has a green background with some pretty like orangey colored, kind of reddish orangey colored flowers on it. So that looked fallish to me. And then here's a kind of red plaid. It's not flannel, it's a cottony fabric, but you know, kind of fall looking. So that's a reddish plaid. And then this one is a greenish, like green and burgundy plaid. And like I said, they're all hand torn. So some frayed more than the others, but I like the fray. I think it gives it a nice texture in your tassel, you know. So that's the green and burgundy. And then let's see, what else do I have here? This one is like a green, kind of has some paisley look to it, but flowery paisleys, green and burgundy, and maybe a little bit of yellow on there. So we'll put that in there. There's two of those. This one I tore thinner. I kind of thought it would be fun to have some thinner strips, because I usually do tear them a little wider, like this one here, like 1/2 inch. And I wanted to try some thinner strips too, to add like a different, you know, dimension and texture. And then this one here, I guess I only have one of these. It's kind of almost like a gingham, red, green, also like a plaid, but a kind of more of a gingham. I don't know, but anyway, there's that one. And then, oh, I have one more of these. Okay, so that's all I have of these strips. And then, so I took one of the longer ones. This is one that I didn't see. I cut these in half for the tassel, but this one I left long, a nice long one. But I'm going to cut this in half to use here to tie up our tassel. So I'm just going to fold it in half, cut it in half right here. And then just make sure I don't have any extra strings that I don't want on there. I see a couple right here I need to cut off. Okay. And then I'm just going to put this right under the middle. So like I said, real easy one. Just fabric, and we'll top it off with a pretty little embellishment. So yeah, first I just did tied it up in the middle like this. So I kind of like take my fabric and make sure the right side is out. So when you tie it up, you see the pretty side of the fabric here that you're tying it up with. I pick it up and make sure it's even as far as how everything's hanging. So if something's like longer over here, maybe I'll pull it over a little bit and make sure. You can always trim it too. And actually this method that I just did, it's kind of like just really looks even, you know what I mean? Because I tried to put the string through that I'm tying it up with right in the middle. Okay, so I think that's good, really. I don't, you know, if you like it to be like totally even on the bottom, you can trim it, but I kind of like the almost like uneven. It's not so uneven that it's obvious, but if there is something really obvious hanging way down, I'll cut it off, but otherwise I'll leave it like this. So let's go ahead. I did it with that one. I tied a little loose knot here, and then I just took it and took the other piece, the other half of this fabric that we cut in half, and I used that to tie off my puff top, my little top part, and then just tie it around here. And again, you can try to make sure that your fabric is on the right side out, and then depending on how big you want your puff top, you can tie it up a little bit or down a little bit. I have this one down a little bit to have a little bit bigger puff top this week. And then before you tie it, like I'm going to tie a double knot here, but before I do that, I'm going to make sure that everything is where I want it, you know, as far as tightness here. See if anything is really sticking up. This one looks like it needs to be pulled down a little, maybe. Is that? Okay, no, that's my, okay. Maybe this one here, okay. And this one right here, I would like to pull down a little. Let me see where it goes. Okay, there it is. Got it. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and let me pull this one more time. There we go. Now I'm happy. Okay, so let me get my two ends to my puff top here. Where's the other one? I lost it. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to pull that tight, and I'm going to, let's see, how did I do this one? Because I really like how this one turned out. I guess I just tied a double knot here. So again, I'm going to try to tie it in a way that like I'm turning my right sides out. Let me see how that turns out. No, you know what? Let me do that. Let me don't do it that way. Here's an extra string. Okay, so I'm going to, let me see how this, I'm trying to see how the best to tie it with my right, so my right sides come out. Okay, so, okay. Yeah, I'm just turning it so that my right, when I tie it tight here, my right sides will be on the outside. So, and then I'm going to let this, see, I tied a double knot there now. I'm going to let these hang down and become part of my tassel. Okay, so you don't really even know, I mean, you know, but you don't really, it's not obvious that those are your tie off there for your puff top. And I'm going to look at it and see, because I think I got a couple that I might want to cut off here. Like this one from the tie is hanging down way down, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, anything else? Here's a little string I wouldn't mind cutting off. It's all our strings over there. And clean up a little bit here so we can see. But let's see, here's another string I don't want. You guys probably can't even see it, right? But see how pretty now, all the colors? Okay, so then I'm just going to go ahead and finish off this part. So I don't want to cut, I don't want to tie that too tight, but I want it tight enough it's going to hold together. And I'm going to, again, tie a double knot up here. Go ahead and tie a double knot. That makes it nice and secure. And then I'm going to take my little ring. This is my little ring. I'm going to tie it right over the hinge, and then you'll have the part that opens up at the top in case you ever want to open that up and add something or open it up for any reason. So I'm just going to push this through here and make a little loop. Let's see. Again, I want to look at my fabric and see how I want my fabrics to, maybe possibly to keep the right side out if possible. Okay, so I'm going to bring that little hinge up there to the top of where my knot's going to be, the little loose leaf ring. And let's see if I'm doing this right. Feels like I'm not doing it right. Hold on. Let me try that again. I'm just tying this on, but don't have to get crazy with it. I just want it to be tied on here. So I'm trying to figure out what I did before. I think I tied it first. That's what I did. Okay, yeah, that's what I did. I think that's what I did. Okay, so I tied like one knot there, you know, a little tie, and then put it on. I think that's what I did. Okay, because it wasn't coming out right. Okay, now I think that's what I did. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be better, because it's gonna be in between your two knots. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you've got a double knot, and then you can push your little hinge inside your knot here. Okay, so, I mean, it doesn't matter if you see it or not. I'm just trying to get it in the middle, really. In the middle of the loose leaf ring. Okay, so you got your double knot. And then I just tied a bow here to make it pretty. You know, just make a pretty little top here with your piece of fabric. And again, I'm trying to keep my right side of my fabrics out while I'm tying this little bow. Okay, so you got a pretty little bow. And I fluff it up there. And then we're going to add an embellishment here. So, and it doesn't really have a front or a back. So wherever you wanted to add it would be, you know, perfectly fine. I do have the little tie here where we tied the knot for the puff top right here, you see. So why don't we pretend like that's the back? It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And here's a little string. See how pretty it's looking already? Little string. Okay, and now let's pick out, I was thinking I put the, see, I put this one on here, like a medallion. It looks like a medallion. And I thought maybe a fall leaf on here. So I have, let's see what is in here. There's one without a, this one just has a little hole right there, so I could do that one. I think there's another one in here though. Let's see which one I want, which leaf. Let's see. Can you see over here? You probably can't see very well, but I'm not really doing this to show you everything. I'm just looking for a leaf here. I know there's a bunch in here. Okay, I see one. See this one here? There's two different leaves. There's this one and this one. I did use this one once before, so I could use this one, but I kind of want to use that one again. So all I did, see this little stem on here? I think before when I used this one, I curled this and made a little loop here. You can punch a hole in this metal too. If you haven't seen me use these before, if you want to make a hole in one of these to attach it, like in, I made a hole in one of the butterfly wings to put a jump ring in there and attach it like that. Okay, so you can do that if one of these doesn't have a hole. This one has this stem, which makes a good little loop here if you need it. So I'm just going to make it tight so that see, it's real tight against the metal. I looped it around against itself, so it's tight. There's no space in there, so this can't get out. I'm using a bulb pen to put through that little loop and attach it to my tassel. So all I need to do is just run this up under that fabric that we tied around the puff top and pin it on there, and then you have a nice little embellishment. Nice little easy embellishment just to pin on. I think I'm trying to get it through more than one layer of fabric there. But yeah, you can pin it on, you know, as much or as little fabric as you want it to go through. And there you go. Have a little fall leaf on there. Isn't that pretty? Yes. Easy, simple, and pretty. So here's the both of them. They both have the same amount of fabrics in them, and I think they both look pretty with these embellishments. So you can put anything on you want. A butterfly. I put an owl on last week. Here's a flower. I was thinking about doing this one. I could do the same thing with this one and put one of those little stickers in the middle, and that would be pretty. So yeah, I like using these little bronze pieces on here. So those are done, and I was going to tell you that I'm going to put, these are going to be in my shop, and let me show you what else I'm putting in my shop. The fabrics I brought home, like I have too many fabrics. I saw them at the store, and I mean, look how pretty. I had to bring them home, right? And I had to make some tassels, but I don't want to put them away because I don't really have anywhere to put them away at. I have a certain place I put my fabrics, and those spaces are full. So I'm going to go ahead and just destash these. So this is all of it. This is all that I have that I brought home, and I made just 4 little bundles here. So that's all I have of this fall. I'm going to call them like little fabric fall bundles, I guess. And I'm going to put these in my shop. So if you want any of these, they'll be in there when you see this video also. And I was going to just take one apart and show you what is in here, because all the fabrics that I use in the tassels are in here, and one extra that I didn't put in the tassel because it's more of an upholstery type fabric, and I couldn't tear it. I would have had to cut it, and I didn't really need it, but I was going to use it. If I wanted to, I would have just cut it, but then I didn't want to cut it, if you know what I mean. That would have taken longer. So yeah, that's this one right here. This is more of an upholstery, a thicker fabric. So very pretty though, right? Can you see? So there's one of these in each one, and see how much there is. There's a lot of it. There's a big piece here, a very big piece. There's a piece of fuzz. But yeah, I had a piece of this, and I just cut it into 4 pieces for these bundles. I just cut up what I had left from the tassels to make these little bundles real quick. So this is there's some of this in here. There's some of this in the tassels, and it is a good size piece too. Let me show you. There's one in each one. Yep, there's one in each one. I will confirm as I go through that there's one in each one. See, good size piece, kind of probably about fat quarter size or maybe a little bigger. So plenty of fabric to do whatever fall crafts you might want to do that require some fabric. And then, so that's like a burgundy color. This one, you know, was the paisley orange, and there's some teal, white. There's even a little bit of purple in there, I think, but very pretty. This is the red plaid one that I described to you as I was putting the little strips in there. So good piece, good size piece of that. Okay, is there red plaid in each one? I just have a feeling there might be one that I didn't have enough for all the bundles in it, but they all have the same amount of pieces, if you know what I mean. Let's see, red plaid. Red plaid, is there? Yep, there's red plaid in that one. There's red plaid in that one. Okay, they all have the red plaid. The next is a strip, just a strip. This is all I had. This green one with the orangey kind of flowers I described. That one there, which is a strip of that. So let me confirm if there's one in each one. Let me see. Is there a green? Yes. Okay, there's a green strip in that one. There is not a green strip in this one. Nope, no green strip in that one. And no green strip in that one. I didn't have enough. Okay, so those two don't have a green strip. I'm going to count the pieces of fabric then. Okay, so green strip, green strip. Next one in this one is, these were cloth napkins that I tore some up and put in the tassels. And then I divided what I had up amongst the four. There's a piece of this in all of them. Maybe a little bit smaller. I think one of them has one this size, and two of them have one a little bit smaller, but not that much smaller, because I used some of one of them, you know what I mean? And then this was, I was going to use this as the wraparound to tie it up together, and it wasn't long enough, so I just divided it up into 4 little strips and put it on top. So let me see if they all have the same amount of pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we're counting all the pieces, even that little one there. 6 in that one, and the little tie up for that one is right here. Okay, so in this one there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those two are exactly the same. This one there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, there's still 6 in there, even though I probably put a different fabric in here that I didn't have in the other ones. They all have 6 pieces. Okay, so this one, the other two don't have this one here. See this little orangey one with the leaves? They don't have that one. And this one does. And this is probably the same. Nope. But they all have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they all have 6 pieces. You know, I divided what I had amongst these bundles. So I hope that makes sense. They're not the same, but they're all really pretty, right? So they're all going to be in the same listing, and I'll just send you whatever, unless you get to them before, you know, first come, first serve, and you say, I want the one with the whatever, or two with the whatever color in it. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out if you see more than one listing. I'd like to put them all in one listing so it doesn't get confusing though. So I hope I didn't confuse you with all that explanation. Probably a lot more than you needed, but you get the idea. They're all basically fall fabric bundles. So long explanation, I know, but there are pretty little bundles, pretty little tassels that we did this week. And so I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time, and see you tomorrow. I have a video working on my coffee journal tomorrow, starting on the cover. So exciting. So I'll see y'all later, and happy crafting and happy Tassel Tuesday.